Hi all. You are watching a fragment of the countdown program from October 6, 2022. Today is Thursday. See the full version of the program on the Patreon resource. And thanks to everyone who is becoming our patrons right now. When serfs grumble, it doesn't matter. In the cave, the elites begin to grumble. Unless, of course, this brown substance can be called elites. The system does not want Putin to slam it upside down, as he did with society, the army, the economy and the country in general. So what to do? No one really knows. Putin's victorious war has reached a dead end. It's one thing to snobbishly annex other people's territories to the false sounds of fanfare, playing for political aggravation and raising the stakes, and quite another to fight on the battlefield. The armed forces of Ukraine continue to routinely move forward, and they can release Kherson before mid-November. In response to military setbacks, Putin promotes Ramzan Kadyrov to the rank of Colonel General, as if in mockery of the generals, who have at least some education. Kadyrov, of course, is an academician of the Mountain Goats Roux, but he has no education, neither civil nor military, at least right now. Put him in the Guinness Book of Records. Such showering of honors says only one thing: Putin's infantryman is being prepared for something, either to a bloody dispersal of riots that may suddenly brew in Russia, or to something else. Putin is already blaming Shoigu for the failure of the Ukrainian adventure. Who else can he blame? Not himself, infallible. It would seem that he is dissatisfied with the work of the minister. Fire him. But he does not do this, although a shameful defeat already looms on the horizon. Despite the mobilization, the biomass put under arms is not capable of fighting, but to turn around and move to ruin their own endless expanses, like uncontrollable locusts, easily. Moreover, each new day of the war only worsens the karma of the bunker commander, who, as they say, is already ready to dismiss the head of the General Staff Gerasimov. Gleb Pavlovsky laments loudly, Putin must search for peace more intensively. But there are no offers. What a surprise, with a rabid rat brandishing a nuclear bomb, no one wants to negotiate. Those around the Kremlin are whispering, the country is approaching the impossible. Yesterday, what next? Collaborator Oleg Zarev howls, through their actions or inaction. The leadership of the Ministry of Defense has led to the fact that Russia has been threatened with existence, and the world has been brought to the brink of nuclear war. Following Putin, Zarev accuses Shoigu, realizing who can be yelped at and who cannot. Expert Vladislav Inozemtsev is more frank. After September 30th, the exit from the military adventure is impossible without a change of power. Ukraine is not going to talk about peace with Putin, the army is not able to hold its positions without a nuclear strike, and the population will not forgive any leader for the loss of their recently declared territories. The system, thus, consciously entered the zone of critical overloads, which can end in its destruction. End of quote. Why Inozemtsev took the unforgiving position of the population about the loss of the occupied territories is not clear. Practice shows that the infantile population does not give a damn about politics, geopolitics and any territory other than their own hut and skin. Postsovki generally unprincipled and cowardly. But about a nuclear strike, you cannot argue. And this is the last trump card that Putin can throw on the table in an attempt to salvage the situation. But it is he who will bring down the system completely. Because humanity will not forgive the use of such barbaric weapons in the 21st century. Russia will be severely punished as a warning to future generations. Whoever does not recognize the right of other states to independently determine their own lives, loses the right to their own country. And this is fair.
Right today, on the site of the Parliamentary 20, we will sit down at the negotiating table. Parliament of Russia, Parliament of Ukraine. Let's try to understand each other, find agreements. And after that, I want to say that Russia has repeatedly proposed negotiations on a settlement within the Ukrainian crisis. Yes, and we have already reached almost agreements. Istanbul was ready to move, but, unfortunately, Ukraine then obviously, being under external control, refused these agreements. We are talking again. We are for negotiations. We are for dialogue. We are for a peaceful political solution to this crisis. Let's negotiate, and let's sit down at the negotiating table.
Become our patrons now and see further in our program. Putin's mobiles are already almost rebelling and recording emotional video messages. Russians continue to flee the country. The Migration Service of Finland reported that in 2 weeks the number of applications for political asylum reached the annual level. Restless Putin continues to join. The day before, he signed a piece of paper stating that the Zaporozhye NPP now belongs to Russia. In Ukraine, they called the document null and void. The plan for radical reforms, presented by Liz Truss just a week ago, brought down her ratings, plunging the UK into a full-fledged political crisis. And the last one for today. In Ottawa, a referendum was held on the inclusion of the Russian embassy in Canada. 97% of those who participated in the event voted yes. According to Moscow's logic, this referendum has full legal force and was held in accordance with UN standards. So Canadians can now easily say, the embassy is ours, and let Zaharova at least erupt.
That's for Zelensky. I forgot. Very good. Oh, I forgot to put yes, but no matter what.
There you go. Yes. Yes. We'll put yes for you. It's okay. Good. Yes.
And that's all for today. See the full version of the program on the Patreon resource. And thanks to everyone who is becoming our patrons right now. I hugged everyone. See you tomorrow on Friday Live. Glory to Ukraine.